So you want to learn how to do flip tricks into more complicated grinds. Some of these tricks may feel completely impossible when you're trying to learn them, but I guarantee after you watch this video, flipping into any grind will be so much easier. For any grind where you need to turn 45 degrees, like a crooked grind, overcrook, Smith grind, feeble grind, salad grind, Susky grind, Willy grind, or a low-C grind, you want to practice the flip trick that you're trying on flat and land at a 45-degree angle. For any grind where you're landing on your back truck with your front truck in the air, like a 5-0, a Susky grind, or a salad grind, or for any slide where you're landing on your tail, like a tail slide or a blunt slide, you want to do what's called a rocket flip. So instead of straightening out your flip trick so it's flat in the air, you want to try to not flick it as hard as you normally would so that the front truck is above the back truck the entire time. Or in other words, so that the board looks like a rocket that's about to blast off into space. This makes it a lot easier to land on your back truck or on the tail because we're already preparing the board in midair so that the back truck lands first. For any grind where you're landing on your front truck with the back truck in the air, like a nose grind, a crooked grind, or an overcrook, or you're landing on your nose like a nose slide or a nose blunt, you want to tweak your flip trick so that your nose is pointing down. So instead of straightening out your flip trick so it's flat in the air, you want to flick harder than usual so that your back truck is above the front truck the entire time. This makes it a lot easier to land on the front truck or on the nose because we're basically preparing the board in midair so that the front truck lands first. And for tricks like nose slides, tail slides, blunt slides, and nose blunts, these can be a bit trickier than most other grinds because you have such a small part of your board to land on. So to practice your tail slides and blunt slides, you want to do a rocket flip and land at a 90-degree angle. And for nose slides and nose blunts, you want to tweak your flip trick and land at a 90-degree angle. For blunt slides and nose blunts, you want to try to pop close to the obstacle because this will make it easier to get both trucks over the edge of the obstacle so that you can land on the nose or tail of your board. Nose slides and tail slides are a little bit trickier, so I recommend trying to land on the obstacle starting from really far away. The most common problem that I see is people starting too close to the obstacle with nose slides and tail slides, and they end up in a board slide or a lip slide. So if you start really far away, at first you're going to miss the obstacle entirely, but you can slowly start to move closer and closer to the obstacle with each attempt until you find that sweet spot where you're landing in the slide that you're trying. Once you can start to lock into the slide that you're trying, you can always put a piece of tape on the surface that you're fingerboarding on so that you know where to pop next time. One tip that helped me specifically with trying to land shoves or flip tricks that spin into any slide was to look at them from a different perspective. For example, if you ignore my hand, a hard flip back tail spins the exact same way as a kick flip back nose. So if you can get good at kick flip back nose slides and ollieing into a backside tail slide, then all you need to do is turn your fingers in the air once you've popped the kick flip back nose and land on your middle finger instead of your index finger, and now you've learned hard flip back tails. So if you're struggling with any trick that spins into a slide, try to see if there's an easier trick that you can do first that can get you used to flipping your board in that direction. And if you're still struggling with doing flip tricks into grinds, make sure you check out the full video on my YouTube.